Hey everyone, welcome back to Jaraci Cup 14. Now we're going to cast a series between myself and AreK. This was played yesterday. Of course, it's always a little tough to cast yourself, but you know, it does mean when we're reading the info.txt, I can give you all the true details about why I picked what I did. So AreK grabbed Soban, I picked Soban as well, and then I banned Fire-Based Grill, because this is a map that I feel like it's a little bit harder to just fight straight railgun fights, although perhaps Kalash Teeth would have been a better ban for me. But my game plan here was that I wanted to just like rail spam the rail spammer. See, that'd be funny. So that was the game plan. AreK bans the Boneyard, and then he picks Kartoba. Gelsian Territories and Torrent Crater come out for me. And I guess I just felt like these were pretty standard maps. I would like to actually play on Boneyards. That was a nice ban. AreK picks Kalash Teeth, and then Tight End Passage would be the ace match. So let's jump into the game here and see what happens. As I test my chat again to make sure it's working. Very good, very good. But yeah, Soban Gaming. I hope you all are excited for that. Feels like this tournament, we've only seen like mirror matches. Like, I'm trying to remember when the last CVS or CVG was in this tournament. I mean, group stage at some point, that goes without saying, but I can't remember when, honestly. Game plan for this was to go 8-up here, because I felt like Discara, or sorry, not Discara, I was just casting games of his. I feel like AreK is not going to go for, AreK is not going to go for any kind of early game shenanigans, so I can probably get away with it. And what he tends to do is pretty much the same every game. He goes for LAV Fab, builds a couple to escort that base runner out, and then he'll go into AVs and rails. So I'm thinking, yeah, you know, he'll get an artifact out, that's fine, but I just want to... yeah, we'll see. He'll get an artifact out, that's fine, but I just want to get an eco lead. So, that's going to be the game plan here. Let's see LAV Fab finishing for AreK now. Still not really very close to that SC. And he's going to be building some LAVs here, so... Was it 2 days ago? I thought I played this yesterday. Oh, you're right, it was Thursday. I'm so good at long-term memory. you can't even call this long-term, really. Is the AV Fab gonna come out from AreK? Ah, that's true. The birthday of the lady. Am I right? Gonna see if I can hunt down this probe now. Takes a bit of fire. It is gonna die. Okay, that's quite nice for me. Gotta probe out myself here. And you can see AreK starting his SC now. I'd like to get vision on that base, but seeing the LAVs, I'm pretty sure, yeah, he can't be on it, so I know, more or less. But he'll pick up an artifact here, and this is what he always does. And look at this, I've actually even built another Salvager to go long distance mine. This is a bit, this is honestly a little bit disrespectfully greedy, you know? I don't think you can really get away with that. LEVs find the probe again, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit snaky about getting around here, but now that I'm in the Kartoba, which would be cool if you could drive on, I'm not getting hit because there's a bit of a line of sight blocker there. Nah, that's next game, Houston, don't worry, that's next game. Is it? Which game is Torrent Crater? I don't know, you'll see what we're talking about. But yeah, I go over and check the carrier just briefly, and gonna try to avoid the little net of anti-air here. But yeah, this artifact will extract. And I have AV tech coming. Carrier production upgrade as well. You see I've got 2 salvagers long distance mining. Yeah, this is really greedy. This is ridiculously greedy. But I kind of had a good read. There weren't that many units around here, so I just dropped the TJ on one guy. Which normally you wouldn't really want to do because you could get jumped on by the rest of them, but I was pretty sure there wasn't anyone coming, so... Armor 1 done for AreK. I was saying this in the game with Just Carrier against Discara, but... It was really nice how Just Carrier was managing to not get Armor 1 until he was like right here. He was right at his opponent's base. So That's definitely what you want to do if you can. So you can see here I've got carrier protection upgrade going before I have armor 1 teching because I just don't really need it yet. Although to be fair, I am going to be fighting these LAVs now, so I could use it right now, but it's nice to get that upgrade after you have like a fight starting, or I mean right when you do, rather than getting it too early. But I don't know about the AVs. He's been keeping the LAVs up in the front, so I can't probe them, so I haven't seen this yet. And AreKharak is going to get railgun tech as well, but so have I. And now I have my armor 1 done. Found the base runner as well. I was kind of looking for that, but I was having a bit of trouble finding it earlier. This fight here, though, should go without saying who wins this one. Although I do have armor 1. But, yeah, this AV will be forfeit. But a couple of railguns building, and I should be fine to hold off this flank. Artifact extracts. And that brings the scoreline to 1-1. That's fine for me. Again, AreKharak pays for his early game artifact by having a bit of a slower economy. And so for me, if I can get an artifact out as well, I'm feeling good about it. Oh, that'd be interesting. That'd be interesting. Support cruiser queuing for me, so I want to get up onto my 3 base here. Let's see, I'm queuing it over there. And building a couple more RU cells too. You can see I'm already starting to float a bit of CU, so you do need to... Is that how it works in Cataclysm? I didn't remember that. That was a good game. Not enough people have played though. A couple LAVs get slapped down over there. But AreKharak is also building railguns on this front, so it's probably not going to be a situation where I can push either. He's got 2 rails right now, so do I, with 3 AVs, and he's definitely got more. So, yeah, this push probably will not work for me. But I think I was feeling that I was actually pretty ahead here. But I think I can see with the units there that that's just not the case, so I'll have to back away. Still though, I'm getting enough field control that I can extract again, and this is still 3 base versus 2, so this feels really nice for me. Yeah, if you're in my position here, I think you're feeling good about it. It's not, you know, nothing to be worried about, because you know that your opponent's still on 2 base, or, I mean, I think I probably know. At any rate, I can send these LAVs to check for it, or I can send the probe out there to check for it, but... Yeah, being 3 base against 2 really feels nice if the game is slow. And this base runner will extract, but it'll probably die afterward, but that's okay. That's what they're made for. And AreKharak just now building his support cruiser to get up onto that next base. You can see TJ being used here to try and just buy a little bit more time if I can. And I might even just send this base runner out to this side, just to buy a little bit of time anyway. You can see I'm going to move out here with my carrier, which I have unlocked, and because I've got the 2 artifacts, I have a decent amount of power. Nothing world-ending, but it certainly will contribute to the fight. A lot of CUs, though. So I think this is why I'm queuing a couple of LAVs, but it'd be nice to get that carrier production upgrade. That's the real problem here. That's a lot of CUs. Looks like I still want to take this fight here. The problem is that, like, this side of the Kartoba has a lot more space to maneuver on, and this side really does not have much. It's like a very tight column, so... If I have the numbers to push here, this is fine, but otherwise I really want to be on the other side. Mag XL just finished. AreKharak has not got that yet. Yeah, everything about Soban rails is just awesome. Good looking units. By the way, probe here, seeing the wreck open, so I know that he has not even touched this yet. You can also count the piles if you really want to be tryhard. Yeah, here goes the fight. You see, I'm just hitting AVs though, which is not really where you want to be. I'm kind of smoking for him as well here. Jeez. Yeah, this fight is like surprisingly difficult for me to take. This ALM is being so annoying as well. Somehow I just couldn't hit it. And now he still has how many railguns here? 5 to my 4? Or no, I've got 5 as well now, but I feel like I don't actually have the numbers to push here, so we're gonna back away. You can see double SC building up in the front line here. This is always just really nice to get a bit of healing up on that front line. If you take fights a bit slowly, then it can actually go a long way. But I think both of us should be eyeing up Armor 3. Like, that's a really nice tech to have here. I think pretty much increases the number of shots you take to kill by 1 on the railguns, which can, you know, that can make a huge difference. Note that I left this one railgun over here. This was intentional, actually, because I knew about these 2 AAVs, which are moving out now, but I wanted to make sure that I would have a bit of defense there if he attacked me. There's Armor 3 for me. And now that Arik is on 3 base, he'll probably not be too far away from getting that himself. Or, sorry, on 3 base, that is. He was on 2 base. Probe ends up going down. Well, that's okay. Probes are unmanned anyway, what's the problem? But you can see Arik actually teching some anti-air here. I think that he had never seen the carrier, so he's probably a little worried about it. I saw his carrier not too long ago, so I know that I don't need it. There's a couple of railguns, by the way. Let me use this. 10. See, I told you I was gonna rail spam him. Arik's got 8, so our numbers are pretty comparable. And it looks like we're gonna take Systems 1. At some point, the carriers really start to become pretty impactful in these fights, so I'm gonna try and make sure that I have some carrier power there atop of the artifacts that I've extracted. Note the flank as well. One thing that is nice when you have anti-air is that your opponent's probes die very quickly, which can sort of take away their agency in picking which fights you want to take, so there goes the probe. But I'm just going to take this position here, which would be high ground if he's down in the valley, but I think right now he actually has high ground on me. Yep, just a little bit. So we're going to fight railgun for railgun here. But I have the numbers advantage, so I actually feel pretty okay about taking this fight, even though he does have a little bit of high ground. Now it looks like I have a bit of high ground, so that's nice. And I think that that fight worked out really nicely for me, although it's a little bit hard to tell. You can't see the numbers terribly clearly. Units Lost tab says it's almost dead even, although he's in the lead just a little bit. Very nice TJ here, but there's no follow-up, so it's not a huge problem. Just kill this thing off at my leisure. And I think that BC is teching, yep. So that's going to be my late game option. Here's the flank, by the way. But I've still got like 10 railguns here, so this is a little bit dangerous for Arik to interface with. Oh, there's 2 more in fact. ALMs, though, are actually really effective in this kind of scenario. Just getting a bit of CC on your opponent goes a long way. You can see I'm targeting the ALMs here as I run away, so I'm actually just getting shot at with like no recourse here, which is pretty rough. Backstab comes in though. Worth noting that Arik does have armor 3 as well. ALMs go down first, that's kinda how you gotta do it. And BC tech is done now. 3rd artifact extracts. Are we gonna get the SC? Yes, that will go down. And now it's probably wise to just back away, but I'm usually pretty bad with the micro on these flanks. No, it looks like I have gotten them. That makes things very tough for Arik, because now, even though he's actually still ahead in the Units Lost tab, kind of doesn't matter. You know, when you're down on, like, income, that actually, you know, even numbers aren't even anymore, basically, right? BC is building here as well, so that's obviously going to be impactful if it is able to come out. And one thing thing I've noticed is that AreK always has the power in the ALMs, whereas I have it in the weapons. But I think the ALMs are making a really good showing of themselves here. You do have to be careful about spamming these things out too much, but yeah, they're certainly being effective here. BC's gonna pop out, so I rotate the carrier backwards here. It's kind of a strange targeting jammer that I'm throwing. Maybe just doing it because I know that the base runner is going to be leaving, but yeah, here's the BC. And there's just not really any armor here for AreK for him to be able to fight this. So this BC is kind of just the kingmaker on the field right now. And, you know, DPS-wise, I'm pretty sure that they are not... Oh, I got it to vision that targeting jammer. Anyway, I'm pretty sure that DPS-wise, battlecruisers are really not as much damage as an equivalent number of railguns, but they're so tanky, it makes them very, very difficult to fight here, because unless you have the army to kill off the BC, it can do damage for free, basically. So that's always nice, especially with that field repairs ability that it now has, so when you use the smoke, it gets healed. And yeah, AreK agrees he can't fight this, so he ends up GGing out, plus I have the game-winning artifact on the way, so that's obviously gonna end the game in just a moment anyway. So game 1 goes to me. Kind of an interesting one, but I think it came down mostly to AreK not really doing too much damage in the beginning of the game. Remember that, because that's going to become important later on. Anyway, this will be on the test. So game 2, we jump into Galzian territories. This is my pick, of course. Well, it's a great railgun map, so I thought, yeah, I'll pick Galzian territories. This is what I want to do, but I started getting ideas, which is usually a bad sign. If you recall, in a series against Phoenix Skill, I think this was, in the... Can't remember if this was the last tournament or if it was the one before that. I played Soban on this map and Carrier rushed him to death, which was pretty fun. Yeah, see, Descara knows, but... Anyway, I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'll try and pull that again. That was always pretty fun. The key to this is that you have to kill off the opponent's probe, because if he sees this coming, it's actually really quite easy for him to react to it, so... And see, the distribution is 2 on RUs first, and then I'm going to start building the LDMs for CU... no, for RUs over here. And then I'll get an SC, and then try and max carrier power as I move out across the field. And you do that because mobility costs 300, so it takes a long time to get there. Oh, you just woke up? Oh, no. That's a pity, because we cast your games with Descara, and they were sick. Anyway, now you can yell at me for being bad. So yeah, RU's getting mined over there. And I want to find his probe, so I'm going to send out a probe of my own too. Like, I really feel like this is important to figure out where that probe is going to be. Very good micro, though, as I managed to get it killed here. Ah, it actually almost got away. But the thing is, I should have realized, like, AreK pretty much always does this, where he goes for the, No, not even, man. They were sick games. But yeah, AreK always does this, where he goes for the LAVs first, and the LAVs are going to give him really good vision across the field and deny me from getting early game artifacts, so... You know, this feels pretty tough, actually. Like, he'll see me immediately. AV tech is already on the way for him. Base Runner is still trying to be forward because I'm trying to find that probe again, but... This is a little bit folly because, you know, the LAVs are out here, so they're gonna start hurting me now. SC is done. And see, again, like, I want to be moving my carrier right now, but he's gonna see me any minute now, and then it's gonna kind of be, like, the game will be up, so... What I'm actually trying to do right now, well, it looks like I haven't given up on the rush yet, but... Once I give up on the rush here by getting LAV fab, I'm basically gonna try and make him think that I'm rushing with the carrier by moving it a little bit and then going back. We managed to get the probe off there, but is it gonna die? Oh! Oh no. Well, that's unfortunate. AreK with his 2 base getting set up now. And he will get the artifact out too. Yeah, good point, by the way. Good point. But yeah, you can see, this is a bit tough because in contrast to the last game, we're getting up to 2 base at almost the same time. And he's gotten Like, last time I was very far ahead of him there, which meant I could get 3-base super early, too. And he's also gotten the artifact, but I haven't, so I think that this has really been quite a failure of an early game here. And see, this is why Descara says Bozo shouldn't get ideas. It's true. I can't deny that. Now we're gonna have to fight this over here as well. Bit of high ground is gonna go a long way on these LAVs as they start hitting this salvager. Probably will go down here. LAV gets chewed up a little bit also. I'm gonna drop an ALM here just for a little bit of assistance. Looks like this salvager will survive just barely. And I thought this was a little bit clever too. I'm gonna actually have this guy go mine on this base because he's full health. This guy can come over to the support cruiser and get healed up. So that feels pretty nice. I'm moving my carrier as if I have like a support cruiser coming out here. Is this some kind of like elaborate fake or something? I don't know. Yes. Yes. That makes it very, very effective. This is one reason why, like, high ground rails used to just be insta-win against low ground rails, because in vanilla the railgun has like 6% accuracy or something, and then it has like a big modifier against medium units, so it brings it up to like 50 or something, but it's still pretty low, so getting the accuracy buff from high ground goes a big way. And Skimmer's accuracy is actually pretty bad. I think it's like, at long range, I'm pretty sure it's like 30% or something. Strikecraft hits more frequently when they're closer, so... I mean, it's usually not worth it to like move closer to your enemy and lose high ground, but actually, yeah, Strikecraft do have a pretty notable range increase when they get closer. Anyway, you can see AreK is on 3-base already. Don't they? I'm pretty sure they do. Well, I don't know. I haven't checked the patch doc for a while, but Just Carrier probably knows. But if they don't have an accuracy value for their long-range band, then they might as well not even have one at all, so I'm pretty sure that they do. Whoa! That's a huge jump. This is a fight I'm not gonna win, by the way, so you can see me smoking out. I didn't realize. So what's the band on the long-range accuracy? Okay. I was gonna say 80% accuracy to 35% is kind of a massive difference. I'm sort of pleased to hear that's not true. I can kill. Oh, well. No, I can't kill this AV because it's already dead. Yeah, fighter and gunship tech finished now. The thing is, I'm definitely feeling the heat. I mean, he's already up here with the railguns, but... AreK is scouting with the probe, though, so I think that he sees the air tech here. I mean, he should be, in that case, aware that there's danger, so he's gonna back away. And he's got fighter and gunship teching himself. Okay, I like it. Oftentimes, when we've seen fighter and gunship tech, people don't respond to it by getting fighter and gunship, they just want anti-air, but... yeah, he is gonna get fighter and gunship here, which is pretty spicy. What's the range on the unit? I'm pretty sure it's 640 on Sandskimmers. That's a lot of meters, you know what I mean? By the way, I have to be a little bit careful not to get killed by this baseman right here, which means probably I won't. Oh no, look at that, I actually did it right. I did something good for once. Well no, it'd be 85 or 80. The accuracy does change based on what band you're. Strike Fighter's still building here for AreK. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is what I mean. I managed to lose a Strike Fighter there. Although I will say, I didn't realize that it was such a small difference. I thought it was actually a lot lower. One Strike Fighter done here. One more should be about to fit. Yeah, there it is. But yeah, this makes things a little bit more awkward because he's got the base runners, And the general rule for fighting air versus air is that whoever has got the ground-based anti-air has a big advantage. My air reveal didn't really do too much. I don't have... Oh, I do have Railgun Tech now. But I don't have Mag Excel, so it's going to be a little hard to fight this. Either way, him having the base runner out is really effective. You can see I'm building one as well. And the extraction goes through as well, so note that this carrier is pretty powered despite no investment into that in terms of like systems and mobility. And that's pretty impactful too. And again, he's going to keep it all in logistics modules here, so he seems to want to use those to disrupt rather than having the carrier do the damage here. AV ends up getting spitten, as it were. I also don't have Mag Excel yet, and he does, so that's, you know, that's also a big deal. So I'm gonna tech Systems 2 instead and try and match the power here so my carrier can influence the fight. Looks like this fight actually looks okay for me, and mark target's kind of going a long way here, but I need to be careful not to overextend, because these health bars are all super low now. Oh no. Speaking of overextending, here come the Strike Fighters as well. I'm going to try and dive on this with my Strike Fighters, but this is risky again, because there is ground-based anti-air here, so... a little bit dubious that I can win this fight. I've got a base runner too, though, it looks like, so I do have some ground-based anti-air, but not as much. Well, he hasn't dropped the turret down, so that's right. LAV's gonna jump in here, though, and get the kill on the base runner, which means that I don't have to go up against 4 out of 5 artifacts, which is good, but... yeah, this is pretty tough, actually. Base runner goes down, too, so there goes the anti-air. I'm gonna take a soul pack here, but I really need backing, so this is tough. It's like I need too many upgrades. I can't get them all at the same time. So the dust settles. I'm not really feeling too good about that one, to be honest, because I did manage to deny the artifact, and I took an okay trade against the railguns, but it's the air that's really a problem now. RX air is all damaged though, and I think it's missing missiles as well, so it does really need to dock here. But... yeah, I can see it. I can see it. No, I shouldn't malign Houston for running the test for me. That's actually good. I think SCAA is gonna be the play now. Yeah. No, it's gonna be Mag Excel. That's the thing. It's tough. It's not easy to figure out what you want here. Kind of feels like I'm asking like what I would rather die to. Do I want to die to the railguns or die to the air? So. We're gonna push in here and try and deny artifact 4 out of 5. Railguns have high ground, so this is good nominally, but I don't have Mag Excel yet, so keep your eyes on that. I'm gonna use mark target to try and snipe off the ALMs, but you can see the strike fighters are gonna come in now. It's really fortunate for me that he doesn't have ammo. He's got a dock, so that's very convenient. But still, I'm gonna need more than that. Mag Excel on the way now, it's almost finished. And SCAA would still be really handy here because like I can't just die to these strike fighters. So yeah, SCAA gonna get teched here. And I'm doing that of course because I really don't have time to tech into missile batteries either, so I've got a lot of support cruisers on the field, I need a lot of support cruisers, this can be a good tech, but still that means I have to give up the artifact, so AreKharak is doing a really good job just pushing his advantage here. It's a bit awkward, he's always on the low ground here, but I mean, if he's getting the artifacts out, I don't think it matters. He's doing pretty well for himself there. Battlecruiser Fab, hey. I mean, again, that's going to be a very nice unit for the late game here. Because if the railguns target it, then it can use the smoke ability to buy some time. And if they don't, it can just do DPS forever, so... but it's going to be very low tempo, so I have to survive the next push where he's going to try to get that 5th artifact out. And if I can, BCs are going to be very good, but... well, if I'm dead, I'm dead, so you know how that goes. Looks like I'm looking for a flank here as well. Could use another support cruiser as well, because that is going to be like my principal anti-air here. But this ALM here is kind of ruining things for me, so I can kill this off. Maybe I can force my opponent to try and defend, but when he has the strike fighters, he also has really good vision, so it's going to be a little hard to do. Artifact going to be picked up here momentarily now. And now it's do or die moment for me. But he's kind of smoking off his rails, so this is good for me. Strike Fighter's going to go in now, but the LEVs can hit them as well. And of course the SCA is here. But still, if it can do enough damage, maybe it makes the railguns more viable. Using Mark Target as well. All the SCs go down. Really nice TJ here. The thing is, like, I have to go in there because I've got to kill this base for me. You can see I'm going to target it with the railguns now. Oh, nice smoke, though. Ah! Yeah, all the railguns die here as I'm really focusing down this base runner, because that's the win condition, of course, but now that the army's dead, not too much left for me to do here. And again, this carrier, which only has gotten mobility, it's really powered up, although I guess he has it in ALMs, actually, so that's not really going to do too much. Yeah, no chance of fighting him off here. Yes, exactly. Maybe with a bit of foresight to keep the carrier away there, I could have, like, stalled out for a bit, but with this army, like, on my third base, I think it was pretty clear this was game over. So yeah, Arik takes game 2. And thus I learned to respect him a little bit more. Trying for this carrier rush here, that was definitely a mistake. Let's jump into game 3 of those. It's gonna be on Torn Crater, which is my pick. And again, the difference in game 2 from game 1 is that I'm not really getting ahead. Whereas last time, you know, Arik is going for the LEVs at the beginning, and then his SC is pretty late, but like this time, you know, I'm not really ahead at all. So I really want to change things here. Go for more eco, and I mean, this is a good map for it. It's giant. And then probably my thought will be to move into air. And yes, this is the game with the immortal probe. You'll see what he means. I chased this probe down for like hours, but I just can never find it. Oh, got him! Same build for Arik, he's going LEVs first. On a really big map like Torn Crater, I really feel like this gives me an advantage. Although again, he'll get our extractions out like this, right? Because, you know, I'm not going to have any army out in the middle of the field. He will, so he'll be able to extract the artifact pretty safely, but if he's falling behind in terms of economy, I don't tend to think that that's worth it. It's an 8-up build for me once again. If I can frickin' drop the CUs for it. There we go. So I was a little bit late on the SC there, but that's alright. Let's check the production tab. Just LAVs being built here. Let's check the units lost, you know, let's see who's ahead there. Yeah, you can see that support cruisers are almost done now. And I'll move up onto my 2 base. And Arik will probably not be far behind, but he will be behind. He just has to be if he's going for this build. And in fact, he's going to change things up again, so AV Fab being locked in already. Very interesting. Still hasn't sent that probe out. It's almost dead even, almost. Probe's gonna find each other over here. And so it begins. But you see, I'm moving this base runner in a place where maybe I can catch that probe. The thing is, I really don't want him to see fighter and gunship tech. That's the reason why I'm getting so anal about this in this game. Is that if he sees fighter and gunship tech, then the tech reveal is going to be a lot less valuable. So, although you know me and air tech, I'm probably going to screw up the reveal anyway, but whatever. Support Cruiser comes out after AV tech is queued, so this is a very, very late SC. You see I've got my carry production upgrade started already. Here comes the probe. And I'm actually backing away the carrier because I'm trying not to reveal here, but I mean, I don't have the tech yet, so I shouldn't be too worried about it here. Sending the base runner in, but he's moving that probe away. And now I'll start attacking the second base. Now, he's not going to get too much damage done here, but you can see he's already pulling me off of the mining, so this is pretty effective. Probe takes a bit of damage there, I can hear. Yeah, support cruisers do have some notable weapons on them, so I'm gonna go ahead and kill one of those LAVs. But, you know, he's holding me off here. That's pretty nice for him. Looks like this SC is gonna kill my probe. Not all probes are built the same, but at least I know the timing for his 2-base. And strike fighters are on the way for me now. And I'm actually gonna flip over onto this side. And I think, honestly, I did this so that I would kill the probe. Like, if I remember correctly. The idea is that, like, well, if his probe is still there, maybe I can kill it with the SC. I'm not even kidding. I'm telling you, I'm crazy trying to kill this probe this game. In fact, here's an anti-air turret post getting set up for me now. And the purpose of the anti-air turret post is to kill the probe. Like, if it comes to try and check the air tech, I can blow it up. That's exactly the reason why I build that. These two LAVs still sharking around though, but their health bars are very low, so I wouldn't expect them to really be able to get too much done. 2 strike fighters are done, 1 more building. One reason I'm doing RUs over here is because you can see on the distribution I really just need more RUs right now, but I'll probably flip them back in a moment. And if I can, I would really like to wait to launch until I have, like... I think 6 strike fighters will kill off a support cruiser, so if I can wait, I'd like to. I don't exactly remember what the exact number is. I think it's 6, but it might be 5. Scar probably knows. Yeah, and you can see now I have enough RUs, so I'm gonna flip these guys to CUs. See if we can deny this base runner as well. Can they really? Jeez. You might be thinking of vanilla. I know that interceptors have like a really insane capacity in vanilla. By the way, TJ being used here, this is a little bit too early. Until you have your damage threat, you don't want to use this ability because then I can just do this. Just kind of sitting on the high ground and blow them up, and then, you know, the base runner's defenseless. We'll sure find out, won't we? Because I have kept this probe away. And look, it can't come around on this side because the anti-air turret post will kill it. It's going to be fighting gunship fab for AreKharak as well. But he's on 3 base, so this time things are different. I do actually have to get damage done here, or else I'm not really ahead here. Here go the strike fighters. And it's really important that I keep them away from this probe, because if he knows that they're coming, then that's going to change things as well. So this freaking immortal probe here, still around. If it tanks like a shot from the strike fighters, that can actually be pretty annoying, because you really want to get damage done here, but... You can see I give them an attack order on the ALM there, because that way they won't be tempted to hit this probe. And look at this! I'm actually microing my air well for once. Wow, that's kind of a... That's not supposed to happen. LAB's gonna jump in here too. We'll see what they're able to get done. But that is gonna be a dead SC. Looks like I'm gonna, with the LAVs, just take out this logistics module. Now, you know what I could do with these strike fighters? I could kill off that stupid probe. Now it looks like I'm gonna get another salvager and then probably I just have to dock at that point. That's pretty good though. That's a pretty good air reveal. But still, I mean, it's worth noting, AreKharak is actually ahead of me in terms of eco anyway, because he lost 1 salvager, whatever. He lost a support cruiser, but he's still got 2, so he's actually on 3 base right now. So I guess I'm feeling pretty confident here, but I actually have the knowledge, like, I've seen what should make me a bit uncomfortable, so that's a little bit funny. Anti-air turbos get set up though, and this is now because of the strike fighters. I saw those coming out. And again, I'm gonna try to get this frickin' probe, and I can't do it. This probe, man, I'm telling you, it terrorizes me all game. It's impossible to kill. Anyway. It's because of probe, yeah, definitely. But when Arik goes for air, he goes for air. I mean, man, look at this. He's got like 5 of these things queued up. Yeah, that's 5. I can count. Remarkably. SC is still damaged on this flank, by the way, but it probably will be all game unless it dies. This is kind of the fate of support cruisers. They don't ever really get to heal themselves. Strike Fighter's gonna try to do a bit of damage to the LEVs now. I can launch mine though. And there is an anti-air turret post around here, but still, he actually managed to kill off the turret post, or sorry, kill off the LEVs there without taking any damage. And he kills my probe. A little bit of overkill on that Strike Fighter as well. But now I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can bait him into fighting underneath the anti-air turret post here. So let's see if we can back up a little bit. But Arik's not biting. He doesn't go in for it. So I had the numbers advantage. Maybe I should have just pushed it instead. And it's a little bit dangerous to chase your opponent into his base here because he might be able to launch a bunch of Strike Fighters and then have a numbers advantage on you. Sounds of air units are echoing across the desert. You'll love to see it. And in this case, I'm going to go for ACs. Torrent Crater is a great map for ACs, just in general. But they also have anti-air capabilities, so that's pretty nice. Definitely feels good to have them there. Probes are having a little communion over here. And I'm gonna try to kill it with the freaking LAV. We'll see if that works. I'm telling you, this probe was just haunting me all game. I hate this stupid probe. At this point, there's not even really anything left for the probe to like discover, but I still don't like it, so I'll kill it if I can. I mean it. Don't test me. Speaking of things that are dying though, AVs come over here and they're gonna hit the AA turret. I'd like to fight over this area because I do have the anti-air turret post pretty close. So by the way, this probe dodges me again. Smoke being used on the AVs, but actually AV smoke does not block. It does not block air units, so that's worth knowing. Might as well just save that cooldown for something else that can use it. It's hard to keep these things in camera, but this is actually a really nice trade for Arik. No, that probe lived. Oh my gosh, how does he do this? I got it! I killed it! I killed the probe! Yes! Let's go. But yeah, AC's popping out here now. I've only got 2 Strike Fighters left, but they do have ACAA, so it will not be a problem here. Thing is, there are some railguns here for Arik, and he has Armor 3 and he has Magics up already, so again, he really gets those techs early. And good for him, I mean, man, like, those are really valuable to have the upgrades. Mobility is done for me as well. I'm going to extract the second artifact here. And for the time being, I think actually I can push him out like this, but I'm going to have to be a little bit careful because if he builds up enough railguns, then that is going to be a good answer to assault cruisers. What I really want to have them is like down here, or like down here attacking the eco. So you can see right now, Assault Pack actually going to be a tech choice. I'm going to try to go in there with my LAVs to fight the railguns. And actually, that's pretty sensible because I have a really big CU float, but the thing is, I really need production upgrade is the thing. Oh, and look at that, I'm actually going to cancel Assault Pack to get it. Because like I always say, production good, units in queue bad. So if you're queuing up that many units, it's time to get production upgrade. Yeah, Strike Fighters for Arik though, definitely feeling a little bit persecuted here. There's a lot of anti-air turret posts around, and the ACs do anti-air, so it's starting to become difficult to find, windows to get damage done here. With so many railguns, I figure I'll go for bombers as well. So there they are, and this made Just Carrier very happy because he's a big fan of bombers. So best news for him all year. Another AA post getting set up. Although, if I recall, this one's actually targetable over the hill. Which, actually, looking at it at this angle, it's a little bit more understandable. I thought that was a little bit BS during the game, but I can see now that actually makes a lot of sense. If I put it down like here or something, it'd be a different story. But I know that he's gonna push on me with these, you know, these things, so... AC is just pushing in here. They want to make the flank because I know I can't attack on that side. But they actually, like, one of them's gonna die to the strike fighters, which is a bit surprising. But this is still, I think, fine for me because I'm killing so many strike fighters from AreKharak. That actually feels really good. Another AC is back here to defend. It has the attack missiles ready if it needs it. Bomber fab done. Assault pack is on the way, but it's actually pretty far for these LAVs. The carrier's taking damage here, you know, this is for real. This ALM is like stunning my assault grenades. That's triggered. You like these strike fighters just like docking over the enemy carrier? That's actually really lazy, but it looks like I'm gonna get away with it. By the way, I didn't realize, but this AC actually probably could live if I was being a bit smarter. You get him out here, and then once his cooldowns are up, you use the heal ability, and you can just kill the entire eco. But unfortunately, I am gonna let that thing die. So that makes a big difference, but... Bombers are coming out, though. Bombers and the LAVs, those two are both meant to target these railguns. AC gonna fall, though, so it's a little bit unfortunate. Bomb lands, actually hurts that ALM quite a lot. Oh no, that's terrible. Yeah, I remember this. I used a bomb on an ALM that was already dead. Well, I was saying earlier that it was a bit surprising that I actually microed air well. This is what I mean. I'm not good at this. Air, I will say, it really seems like the most mechanically intensive thing in DOK, so... It's not entirely surprising. I'm not very good at that sort of thing. I like to micro strikecraft. I don't like to micro air. I'm not good at it. Railgun fab for me. You are gonna need this eventually. This is pretty late, but yeah. Honestly, it'd be nice to still have assault cruisers because I did tech anti-air for them, but unbeknownst to me, AreKharak is not rebuilding air, so that actually does work out okay. Yes, he is. And this is how he gets a lot of kills in 3v3, right? Yeah, possibly, when the bombers have to dock. It's obviously a window that I'm a little bit more vulnerable. This TJ is not helping me too much here. But I'm actually fine for the strike fighters to just keep hitting, I'm fine for the strike fighters to keep hitting logistics modules like this. I mean, you know, it adds up, so... Well, it's just that, like, air units love to acquire targets, and it's often not the target that you really want it to hit. So you have to be very careful about, like, getting them to target the right unit. And not only that, they're moving very quickly. They're often, like, out of frame when you're like this. You have to view them in the tech menu, and then it's hard to see the health bars, so it's very difficult to micro them properly. You want to keep them away from the anti-air assets, but you also want to get them doing damage. You know, it's not easy to balance that. Mag XL coming out for me, by the way. Railguns are being built. This is Soban versus Soban, so no one's got the natural advantage there, but AreKharak does have more than me. Oh, and he has armor 3, so that's actually a big deal. Uh-oh. Well, this bomber's dead. Actually, I seem to recall that moment. I was like, well, the bomber's... What the crap? The bomber's probably dead anyway, so let me just try and kill off one of the missile batteries here. But this is a bit of a dicey moment. AreKharak does not have many AAVs. In fact, he's only got one. Really nice TJ, though. But you see, I take a lot of damage whenever I threaten that poke there. Like, whenever I threaten to make the dive. Just because I'm getting blown up by railguns. And they do actually really hurt Strikecraft, even though... There's another probe over here. My goodness. They really do hurt Strikecraft, even though that's not what you think of railguns as fighting, so... Especially when you get this many of them. So anyway, I decide, okay, he's got a lot of anti-air over here. I can't really do anything on that side anymore. So it's time to use the bombers and such to attack the eco. The danger here is that he might be able to just push through on this flank, so I need to be really careful on this next defense, but I think I bought myself enough time. I've got a lot of railguns building. Plus the carrier is really powered, actually, so... That definitely counts. Got an AC on the way over there as well. Kind of bad of me to split the rails like this, though. See how some of them are firing while others aren't? That's actually really... Oh my gosh. Really nice mortars there by AreKharak. Really nice mortars there. Kills off all the LAVs. But yeah, you want to get the railguns kind of bunched up here, but you also don't want to let them just get AoE'd to death, so it's a little bit tough. Oh yeah, I totally missed this, by the way. Bombers came in and hit the eco and didn't kill anything, so... Very good air micro by Bozo, as usual. This is what I mean, it's hard to micro air, you know. They found a target, probably like one of them hit the AAV, and then one of them hit the support cruiser, and then I didn't kill anything, so... Yeah. Well, that's tomato. I do have high ground on the railguns, though, so it's a little hard for AreKharak to push in here. You can see, this railgun fight's going pretty well for me. I'm also using mark target to try and increase my damage. Nice attack order there. That was actually gonna kind of hurt my damage output. Because of course they couldn't hit that one. It was too far away, and then it got smoked. Assault Cruiser gonna try to deny the artifact, by the way. I do have the air units here still, so I'm gonna send the strike fighters over here to try and stop this. This is a really nice TJ, though. Because I just have to move through the entire thing. I wasn't really paying attention. Oh boy. Looks like that is gonna go down. And here I'll finally finish off what I started with that support cruiser kills. That's nice. Yeah, here's an example of what I assume is going to be bad air micro. Oh no, this is actually okay. Would be best to hit the leading one, but still. As I come up here, it'll automatically acquire a target, so it probably would have tried to automatically hit this AV. So I have to manually target the salvager there. Heavy Vehicles 2 finishes for me. Well, that's good, because I got a ton of railguns. I really want Heavy Vehicles 3, because increasing the number of shots to kill me, that sounds Gucci. Also, might even be worth getting SCAA here if I can find the money, but, just because I know he does have air tech, and I don't have any anti-air right now. AERIAL, right? It's a dumb word. Don't blame me for it. Yeah, this fight's not going to be won by AreKharak because it's 10 versus 14 here, so... Well, but he does have armor 3, I guess, to be fair. Mortar misses. And some of my railguns are targeting missile batteries as well, but it looks like this is still going pretty well. You like the targeting jammer on the ALM there, by the way? I felt pretty proud of that move. Yeah, now the railguns have melted away for AreKharak. It would be really nice to hit one mark target here, because having all the rest of these guys gain 25% damage, that'd be pretty good. Oh, jeez. That was a nice mortar. Holy crap. Well, anyway, it's a little bit too little too late. Gosh. If this is a best of 3, I'd win. So AreKharak goes down for game 3. But this is a best of 5, as you know, so we're gonna move on. Really crazy game, that one, though. Very back and forth. I think AreKharak definitely had chances to win that. And that probe, gosh. Game 4 going to be played on AreKharak's pick. This one is Kalash Teeth. You know how I feel about Kalash Teeth. Maybe they'll walk right into them. Yeah, it has a voice line about like dropping mines down, but it's a targeting jammer. Must be some holdover from the campaign. Anyway, same old from AreKharak, no surprises here. He's gonna go for that LAV first build. And for me as well, it's gonna be 8 up. Notice how I'm even rotating the carrier here? I want to have those salvagers pop out on the right side. And then you rotate it back when you start building the SC. Remember the tooth! The tooth! Wait, what? Really? When you see a gunship, it announces that there's a production cruiser? That's a weird one to get mixed up. That's funny. Well, here's the SC building. Note in that last series we cast between just Carrier and Discara, both of them were going 6 up, so going 8 up is a bit interesting. I mean, I think that it's better, because your eco will be stronger if you know that your opponent's not going to attack you early. Which, by the end of that series, I think it was pretty clear nobody was interested in doing early game attacks. But if I would be playing against Discara, like, maybe he would just kill me to death, so I don't know. Hard to say. Hard to say. But I'm just going to find each other in mid here. It's usually a good idea to change the direction your probe is moving if you see each other like that, because your opponent will try to set a trap for it. But you can see neither of us did that, and I'm the one who pays for it in the end, so that's unfortunate. This, by the way, actually kind of a big mistake. Dropping this TJ here, the cooldown is pretty long, so if he comes in to attack me with some LAVs, I'm not going to have the TJ cooldown available. End up being a little bit greedy. I build another salvager here, so I've got a lot of economy focus here, right? You know, like these LAVs are gonna start hurting me a lot. And again, I'd love to have the TJ cooldown right now, so this definitely would be a mistake. I'm trying to like carrier block here. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. This doesn't work. He's not Galzian, so if he was, that would have been really legendary, but he's not. Still though, this actually is going to be a good trade for me in terms of the LAVs, because I have the carrier here, but he killed my base runner, you know. You pay for being stupid sometimes, what can I say? Also, I didn't get another probe out, so we're not going to have any more scouting on him all game. But he's only just now starting to move up onto 2 base, so it's AV tech for me. Yeah, you'll have to explain that one to him. Maybe he gets that because he's playing just carrier, right? That's his username. So like he gets the buff where his carrier doesn't reveal the right tech.
Enemy unit detected. Hostile forces are pursuing an artifact. Green line confirmed. Enemy contact on the board. Enemy on sensors. Rally point designated. Move out.
We're gonna have to do some like research into that. I wonder if it has to do with like if you're watching a replay, you know if it wants building, but otherwise maybe it has the wrong light blink sometimes. I don't know. That'd be weird. I mean, I don't know why it would be like that, but it's ACs, by the way, so no surprise there. I mean, it is College Teeth. Armor 1 teching for both of us, by the way. Mine's gonna finish just a little bit early, but I should do well to be careful here because he still has the numbers advantage. Looks like I'm smoking myself to try and make this fight work, but it seems a little bit folly. He did use the TJ cooldown, so I'm not worried about that, but this is nice, by the way. I'm gonna actually win this fight over here. I like that AreK sent a unit out here, though, but still, I'm gonna be happy to be able to scout this. Nice one, G off. 20% sensors, very nice. I think I'm smoking his high ground to buy time for this third guy to show up, and I just finished armor 2, so nominally I would win like an even numbers fight here, but he's got 5, so probably it's time to leave again. Uh-oh. Let's see how good my smoke micro is. This is not what I'm known for. Never been the best at this kind of game. I really want to smoke this guy now, keep him alive. Yep, okay, that's good. AreK smoked as well, that's kind of interesting. I think actually I'm gonna try to use that smoke against him. Yes, we're gonna bring the AAV over here and hide it in that smoke. By the way, note at this time he's also extracting an artifact. Okay, I actually did pretty well. I kept this guy alive. We're gonna see now if we can move out and stop that extraction. But AC tech is done, so we're gonna want to build that pretty much as soon as we can. Can I stop the extraction? Probably. Might be a little close. With the TJ going down here. This guy's actually getting shot at as well. Ah, good smoke, see? Yeah, I'm actually playing this pretty admirably. Still no AC though. This is very, very late now. Maybe I want to go like 3 base first, but in that case I should have just done it. I could have had 3 base a long time ago if that's what I wanted. Okay, there's the AC. Yeah, I'm definitely not the best management of the economy here. Well, that is something you would say, but I guess you did kind of prove it last game. Anti-air tech being considered for AreK, but he cancels that there. He does have the probe, so it'd really be best to come around here and try and see. You never want to get anti-air tech blind if you can get away with it. And I'm thinking the same thing, so I'm going to come over here. Carrier does not have the air tech open, so no anti-air for me. And again, gonna get carrier production upgrade instead of just queuing 90 units, so that's always a good habit to be in.
Enemy contact on the board. Clear to move. Support cruiser online. Rally point designated. Move out.
Yeah, AreK is moving to 3 base at about the same time, so... Seem to be on the same wavelength there, but I do have the AC finished. Let's see for AreK. He's got railgun tech done. He has armor 3 as well, so these guys are pretty tanky. But I'd still favor me if we meet out in the field until those rails pop. That's gonna change things. But he sees it with the probe, so he should know that he's got ACs to deal with. And 3 base gonna get set up for him actually a little bit earlier than mine. But pretty comparable times. And I want to try and flank here, that's the idea. If I meet his army head on with everything that I've got, I should be able to win it using that AC. That's kind of the plan. Railgun Fab comes up for me as well, so I want to make sure that I have some railgun stance for him. And indeed, if I could get some, like, up on these high grounds over here, that'd be really annoying for him. He's got rails here already, but I'm gonna smoke them. Here comes an ALM to try and do a bit of disruption. But already, I think that's actually 2 salvagers went down, yeah. So that's pretty nice. Could use another smoke here, that'd be probably wise. Probe goes down, by the way, to the new base runner. I actually have a targeting jammer as well, so I'm thinking of making a play here, but it looks like he's going to be just fine. So. And, you know, of course, if I get sundered here by the railguns, the AAVs can do some serious damage to the AC, so you do want to be careful about that. Now I've got some railguns of my own building, as well as some frontline support cruisers, so that would be nice. But it's clear I've gained control of the field for now, so that feels really good. That feels really good. I'm gonna need to get Mag Excel at some point. I do have armor 3 though. Yeah, there's Mag Excel right now. That's good. Big CU float for me. But that is kind of what you expect, I suppose, when you're spamming armor like this. You do end up having a lot of CUs. Or spamming rails, that is. Looks like one AC gonna stay on this front. The other one's gonna go for the backstab. AreK's got a lot of units here, so he's actually going to leave some railguns back home. I think that's great. He actually knows this is coming because of the probe, so he's not even doing this blind. Ooh. He's got an air unit as well. In a manner of speaking. How many rails is this then? 6. So that's pretty good. Probe gonna go down as well. But I can't extract yet, not yet. We're gonna have to wait our time for that. Looks like I'm gonna try to smoke up here. This AC is on the rails. But ALMs are actually doing a pretty good job stopping me here, so I'm not gonna manage to get through. Nice step packs as well, that actually did a lot of damage. But still, the main base is gonna get wiped again. And it's gonna be artillery for me. I mean, that just makes sense. There's so many rails out here. And plus it's Kalash Teeth where you can barrage over these big rocks. But yeah, artillery really just does have to be the call here. Actually, AreKharak never had Mag Excel apparently. He's just getting it now. I didn't realize that. But I mean, hey, fair play. He's not had to actually take a railgun versus railgun fight yet. And that's really where you want to have this tech. By the way, SCAA teching for me, that's a bit interesting. Carrier's starting to take fire here. But the real key here is to hit the enemy railguns. Looks like we're both going to try and back away here. TJ just stops the AVs from jumping onto my rails, of course. And I'm going to have to turn tail here as well. Although I did pick off like 2 or 3 units, but yeah. The damage on the carrier is going to stick, because there's only 1 SC here. So not too much healing. Here comes the front for AreKharak. Carrier hurting here. I've got 1 smoke available. But, you know, that's only good if you use it. And very suddenly I die. But the problem is that, you know, this really should have been preventable. I didn't have vision up, like, beyond this line here. My carrier is right there, so... Probably would have been good to get some units out that could see over there. Like some AVs like this. So that's gonna end very suddenly. But, you know, it would not be a proper Bozo series if I didn't throw my carrier at least once, would it? So I just had to get that out of the way. Best to do it on game 4 instead of game 5. And we will move on up to the ace match. Yeah. Ah, yeah, okay, I see what you're saying now. That's a good point. Because F2 selects the whole army, and then you go down to the bottom right and get the AVs from the pile. Yeah, I see. This is how the pros do it. Well, here we are on game 5. Not really the series you expect to go to an ace match, but here we are. Well played to AreKharak, and he's got good chances to win. I mean, he won last game. You know, I kind of felt like I was doing well that game. I was doing damage to him, I was getting him behind, and then I just kind of died, so... to me, it felt a little bit like an obvious mistake, but... That's the thing, I make those mistakes, so, you know... This game could certainly be losable for me. AreKharak, by the way, not really changing things up too much here, but I think he does have a slight adjustment. He's going to build 2 long-distance miner salvagers here. LEV Fab coming out either way, but this tells me he's probably going for like more focus on LAVs here than he is on yeah, he's going for like more focus on LAVs here than he is on tech, because otherwise you would want to have the RU miners filled out and then you get your SC. Well, I mean, in his case, he's always going for LAVs, but you get my point. In the previous games, he'd had 2 on RUs, so... For me, though, it's just SC first. As before, I'm doing 8-ups. I've got the 2 long-distance miners. And that means AreKharak probably going to have some early artifact pressure. On this map, though, you should really be aware. There's two like very easy to fight angles, where you can be looking down on your opponent's second base or his third base, as the case may be, and have high ground basically like forever. So it's really, really valuable on this map to try and make like timing attacks, push out off of two base or something like that. And just going straight for eco is not usually as effective on this map as on other ones. Just because, you know, if your opponent gets onto that position, it just kind of feels like you die, so... It's gonna be AAV Fab, the choice for AreKharak. No surprise there. And typically he's gone for his support cruiser after getting this tech, so that's what I'd expect to see here. He does have all 6 on the main base now. Of course, we're up on 2 base already. And also, on this map, it feels like this base is so close to the other one, like, if I position my carrier kind of between the two of them, it almost feels like I can be mining at like 90% efficiency off this base. It's not really true, I mean, it's still going to be quite a bit less efficient than having an SC, but... It's interesting though, you know, AreKharak has not really invested much into LAVs, he's just got 3, which is pretty typical, so... he's actually not going to be, changing things up too much off the back of having gotten more CU miners than before. Production upgrade comes out for him, same for me. Probe dies. Will be truly missed. TJ gets thrown here, but this is actually kind of similar to what I pointed out in one of the previous games on Torrent Crater, where like, that's kind of a bad use of the cooldown, because if he has the numbers, he can just push up and try to kill me now. So it's really best to save that TJ until the fight breaks out, so... Well, do as I say, not as I do. Railgun Fab on the queue for me. But I do have some AVs. Well, by some I mean one, but I'm building a second one. Probe is way out in the corner, by the way. But this is fine, I mean, he just wants to make sure that he can get vision when it's pertinent, so he's keeping it safe for now. Really not a bad call at all. Here's the TJ. Gonna be able to dodge that. And I have another SC building now, so we're gonna try to move up on the 3 base. I mentioned it's often not as effective to go just straight for eco on this map as other ones, but I already have the Railgun Fab. I feel like I can build them and make this economy play here, so we're gonna try to kind of have my cake and eat it too. It's a bit risky, but if it works out, it'll be worth a lot. Armor 1 finishes free. And of course, where Armor 2 and 3 are the really effective ones in a railgun fight, Armor 1 is very effective even just for fighting AAV versus AAV, so that feels nice to have, but still, I'll probably have to yield this artifact here. He's got pretty good escorts to get that one out. So yeah, you can see this extraction gonna make its way. We do have a little bit of high ground here, so that's nice. Here come the first railguns. And that should really put an end to this push here, although I see AreKharak just got armor 2. TJ's pretty nice as well, though. Oh, yes, I actually remember this. I tried using Mark Target there to have the AAVs finish off the kill, but actually that just meant I didn't kill this darn thing. I could maybe have dove the LAVs in, but they would certainly have died, so... Nice smoke, too. Wow. Oh dear, I spit on my glasses. That's attractive. It's a bit of awkward terrain for me, like going up the spine of the dune here, because... Like, I can't get any line of sight with these railguns. Yeah. Sadly enough, it's true. Here we've got Sunder on this AV, so we're gonna kill that one off. This one falls, of course, as a formality. Base runner should be here, but I guess it doesn't have the targeting jammer anyway. Smoke gets thrown, but it's a little bit late. This looks like a fight that I can win. go the last of the AEVs up there. And again, at this point, what I want to do really is try and I want to try and occupy this area and deny my opponent's third base. And it becomes really, really difficult to... Oh, very nice. It becomes very, very difficult to fight against that because, you know, your opponent is just, like, up in your face, he's got high ground forever, you know, and there's not really any angles to flank him, so... That's why this map tends to lead to a lot of aggression, because whoever can get to that position first has a nice little vista. This is good for AreKharak, though. He actually has high ground on the railguns here, although I think he still doesn't have Mag Excel, but he does have Armor 3, so... Oh, and I don't have Mag Excel either, okay. Yeah, you know, this actually looks pretty good. Carrier is even contributing a bit, too. Only 2 rails left here. 1 rail left. Yeah, and I built 3 base runners, so, you know... Gonna wish I had a bit more railguns, I think. AVs managed to jump up on a rail here, though, and with the Sunder, they're gonna kill this one, too. Okay, so that's kind of a nice turn of events. If I'd realized these guys are spawning right now, I probably would have stayed around and shot them, too. ALM gets TJ'd as well. I'm not interested in letting this thing disrupt me as I'm making that push. Down it goes. That's another thing, like, I guess the unit's loss tab has never actually been factoring in the loss of armed logistics modules. But either way, I've kind of got that ground now, although it's a little bit shaky. I need to solidify this hold by getting more railguns. And this is where unlocking the carrier could be very helpful. Oh, yeah, you might be able to. The probe doesn't as well, so... That'd be cool. Yeah, second artifact extracts. It's gonna be BC Fab once again. I mean, it's a very nice late game answer here. Smoke goes down to protect this railgun, which is low. I felt pretty cool about that. We pick off 1 more from our opponents. And this is what Armor 3 does. See, he's at 8 health, so... that's not much, but it definitely means he isn't dead. You know what I always say, 1% health units do 100% damage. So, Mag Excel, though, just finishing here. And Heavy's 3 is on the way for me as well. That's a weird TJ. Yeah, well, I delete that one immediately. That definitely was doing me no good. One of the base runners gets taken out. Yeah, these ALMs are definitely being very annoying, but they're also expensive to throw out like that, so I'm not really sure if it's worth it. And either way, he's only got 1, Anyway, either way, he's only got 1 railgun left, so... Well, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it'd be nice to make a little update to Jaraci where you include that for the probe and for the logistics modules. I have a feeling that was done because they count as deployables instead. Yeah, go ahead and experiment, see what happens. Carrier's here now, by the way. And this is where things get really hard, because now he doesn't even have the defender's advantage. BC is building as well. Uh-huh. You know it. We have 1 more series to cast after this. But again, you can see third base location just totally inaccessible for AreKharak now. And in fact, I'm actually going to start building salvagers here. You might say this is a little BM, but you know. However, I actually like this move from him, kind of, because he knows he can't fight this in a straight fight, so he's going to send these guys over here, but I'm going to say, okay, well in that case it's a base trade, so I'm going to just drive out here and clear everything out myself, and I can do it faster than he can. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna get 4 base. But the thing is, AreKharak has actually left his carrier here, so this is a bit tough. He can kill Eco on that side, but I can end the game over here. Not to mention, I can kill the Eco as well. I mean, that's a given. Yes, you can. Yeah, it makes a replay for skirmish games that you play as well. Got a little Soban BCs. Criminally bad in vanilla, but amazingly good in Jaraci. That kind of just describes the Soban faction in general, I'd say. Support cruiser's limping away with like 100 HP. Oh, the dev packs, I love it. He's going all out. I mean, it is the ace match, you know. Give it everything you got at the end. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. He doesn't have mobility yet, though, of course, which makes things very difficult to run away from. So, yep, rails are up on the high ground here. I should use mark target on one of them as well. Yep, I've done. And the carrier will fall. Looks like he was actually holding an artifact. So that'll be game over. And 2 for 2 now. Series where there's an obvious favorite, you know. Well, it's 3-2. I mean, that was close. Yeah, AreKharak had great chances to win this series, just as Carrier had in the series before, so really, really well played. Great games. Hope you guys enjoyed it too, and we'll move on to the next one.